I'm ready. If you are, Marlon.
I also am ready.
All right. So let's get this underway, shall we?
Yeah. Someone's got to do a countdown.
All right, you guys want a countdown?
Sure do.
Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, gentlemen.
Well, my timer's already all sorts of messed up. My apologies, Roy.
Well done.
I didn't get the double doorknob grab.
Neither did I. It's fine. So, right off the bat, as soon as we load into the game, we have the something I actually found. So, little backstory is I learned this game as the 12-hour challenge literally like 2 weeks ago. And during my actual full run, I accidentally found that little skip where the first inputs you can actually skip about 2 seconds worth of animation completely by accident.
But it's pretty precise, so it doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, but it's pretty cool that there's a piece of tech right at the start of the run. Like, not a lot of Metal Gear games have tech like within the first 3 seconds of the run. So that's a pretty cool thing with this game.
All right. Yeah, Portable Ops has, I think, a lot of unexplored territory. We're like, I say we, but Marlon, Minnie, and I believe Royal Suit Alice did a lot of work on the game to begin with, and I still think there's quite a bit of unexplored territory.
Always. As I have found out yet again today, discovered something that saves a bit of time that's coming up in the end game later on. We won't spoil it though.
Yeah, it's truly special in more ways than one.
Exactly.
I'm very excited for this because I was hearing about this morning. I'm like, nice, because we know. I mean, I have not run this game, but I'm playing it casually. We know that a lot of these lesser run Metal Gear games have a ton of potential, and this game is so. I don't want to say it's programmed poorly or anything like that, but I mean, it's really pushing the PSP in several ways, and I think they were still trying to figure out how to really work with the hardware for this one before they went ahead and made Peace Walker. So there's definitely a lot of potential there, I think.
Yeah, and Strafe in chat is correct. This game runs at about roughly 20 frames a second, so don't adjust your TV sets or anything. This is actually how the game looks.
Hey, you know the benefit to that?
What's that?
Easier bit rate.
True.
Oh, yeah, thankfully.
Very good. If you have bad internet, this is the Metal Gear game to run. So yeah, if you haven't played this game before, it's part canonical and part non-canonical. I'm not sure where the division really lies, but it takes place after MGS3. I believe it's 1971, and you are Big Boss in Colombia, I believe, in South America, trying to prevent a nuclear holocaust with Metal Gear that is being taken and used by by Fox. So it's a little bit like MGS1 in that way. Got to deal with the rogue unit.
Yeah, it's we're just about to start seeing it, but excuse me, but if you enjoyed any of the base building elements from Peace Walker or MGS5, or sorry, MGSV, because Strafe's here. But if you enjoyed any of that, this is kind of the progenitor for all of that. This was the test bed, as it were. Sadly, there's no Fultoning, though.
And I'm being alerted that the race is not between Raichu and Marlon. This is actually Pythonicus and Marlon. Just to be clear, Raichu is on the mic, but he isn't, according to the layout.
So yeah, sorry, go ahead, Plywood.
Oh, I was just going to mention that a nice little parallel between MGS2 and Portable Ops is a lot of walking if you're playing casually, because you're carrying people to trucks. It's like Emma Escort, but a lot of the time.
So when we kidnap people in Portal Ops, we do it the old-fashioned way with a truck. no balloons. Also, I apologize for being late. Somebody phone called me like literally the second you guys started. So, hello, everyone.
Well, we do it the old-fashioned ways. We do it by truck, or we do it by box. But we'll get to that.
Box time.
Another neat feature of Portable Ops is you've already noticed you can steal enemy soldiers, but you can also use those enemy soldiers while you're on your missions. And depending on their uniform, they can actually blend in with the rest of the NPCs on the map.
And that makes some rather tricky parts otherwise pretty easy.
Yep. So this game is kind of a cross between well, it's basically the best way to say it is it's kind of Peace Walker light. You kind of have to optimize menuing and movement and all that sort of thing.
Peace Walker Lite running on a MGS3 Lite engine, pretty much.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's almost like the alpha of Peace Walker. It's like Peace Walker mid-development.
Maybe not the alpha. We'll let Portable Ops be what it is. It's like the in-betweener. It's like being a tween. You're not quite a teenager, but you're not quite like 9 years old. That's Portable Ops. And it's charming in its own way. And one of the things that are really cool about this game, and they're using right now, is this member change system. So you can actually position your squad around the map and swap members, and your squad mates hide in cardboard boxes around the map.
Yeah, and you can actually use those boxed squad mates to drag people to the truck in case you were not interested in doing that yourself.
Another big difference with this game compared to MGS3 is the limited equipment. Now, MGS3 experimented with this where you can only have so much weight equipped in your weapons and items, but this game takes it a little bit further, and you can only have 4 things equipped on each squad mate. And my understanding of this is in part to emphasize playing with multiple squad members. So one squad member has this set of items, one squad member has that set of items, and they all have their own little skills and talents they bring to the table.
Practically, that's not the case, like, at all.
Well, we do kind of know what we're gonna get in terms of the run. Like all of our squad mates that we actually do recruit have set abilities. Like Johnny, our first recruit, is always a rescuer, and our second recruit will always be a delivery man. And rescuer means we drag people faster. Delivery man can deliver items back to base from their menu instead of having to drop them. Unfortunately, neither of these things are terribly important to the run. The one thing that would probably make this run a bit faster would be to find an athlete somehow, but on new game that's a lot of
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's a big ask, and
Too
it's
many
not really
hoops to jump through.
Exactly.
And I gotta appreciate the fact that Jonathan here rolls like 15 feet off, perfect landing in front of this building. Pretty beautiful. How about you guys talk a little bit about the controls, because that's a very common discussion point with this game. How does it feel to play this game?
It can be a bit of a bear sometimes, especially in the menus. It's worth noting that we're using the PAL version, but at this point, circle is still confirm and X is still decline in terms of menus for MGS games. And if you're not proficient in the claw, if you haven't played a PSP game in a while, that's another thing. You can set your options to camera on right stick or something, but it's default to D-pad, and it's not too bad once you get used to it, but you really have to put some time into getting used to it.
Yeah.
And worthwhile noting that if you play this game on PlayStation TV, you can actually set the D-pad to the analog stick, and then you can play this game somewhat normally with the right analog stick controlling camera, kind of like a Subsistence MGS3.
It's just like a kind of an interesting thing to note that because just a few minutes ago they kidnapped Jonathan or Johnny, there was no guard station where there was, but that's where Johnny was. So because he's gone, there's nobody there, which is kind of an interesting thing to note. Which I don't think they did in Peace Walker. Yeah, whoops. Oh God, why'd you?
Also, it's also worth noting that we are. I'm not entirely sure where Marlon is right now, but I am just now entering the RNG portion of the run, which will last from now until right around the end.
I
RNG can definitely play a big factor.
screwed up my spy placements, but that's fine. Just wasted, I don't know, 26.
Yeah, so we have to place our spies in specific places. For right now, we're trying to divert trucks from that rail bridge we just went to, so that we can pass through and move on. And we want to see 3 specific maps. We want to see the research lab, the supply depot, and the Soviet patrol base. It doesn't technically matter which of the 3 happens first, second, and third, but there's some RNG shenanigans depending on which one you get first and whatever.
Yeah, spy placement and spy reports are pretty dang important to this game, both casually and in the speedrun.
Yeah, so since I just finished out the research lab, I'm going to move my recruit to the next location, and unfortunately Johnny's being a little bit of a lazy pain. So yeah, this can happen where you can use all of your wait turn commands and you still won't get the spy report you need, and you need to enter a mission and exit out again. Which is another thing that's really worth noting, is that you can pass time with a wait command. It's 12 hours of, well, I would say in-game time, but not really.
Yeah, as far as the calendar in the game is concerned, but how long does it take roughly to skip through 3 days or 3 turns or whatever? Like 10, 15 seconds or something?
Less.
Yeah, it's probably around 6 if I had to.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's important to know like what your options are, kind of. And it's also important to realize that when you don't get the spy reports, you can enter that mission and exit, and you have to do that really quickly, or else you're just losing more time on top of the RNG.
I love how you blow up the explosive right next to you. The game actually does not care.
And Johnny is still being a pain. Holy.
He's not Big Boss for no reason.
Big kablooey.
But yeah, oh, finally. Nope, not even.
Wait, is there a chance he gives you the wrong report?
I mean, also, there's like optional ones.
Yeah, that's the real one that we don't want to see is optional reports. And
like Johnny's really giving it to Python here.
He really is.
And like you said, you get 3 waits, so you get 36 hours of the in-game to wait. But if after 36 hours Johnny hasn't come back with his report, or your recruit, because your recruit name changes run to run.
All right, finally.
You'll have to pop into a mission, leave the mission, and then wait for the report. So, like RNG, the RNG of the spy reports can take a mediocre run. We'll say a run with kind of rough execution, and kind of turn it into a good run. And by the same parallel, a run that you've had really good fights and really good levels can kind of just be ruined by Johnny or your other spies being a bit lazy.
So, worthwhile noting, I noticed Python and Marlon's approach for that stage was a little bit different. Python ran all the way into the building to blow up the munitions, but Marlon just took a step inside and planted it right there.
Yes, indeed. If you plant it like right at the, what do you call it, the door, that door space where the door goes, then Johnny doesn't get hurt, and it's faster than like going completely inside. However, if you plant it a little off, then the guard next to it dies, and the Tsuchinoko run would be dead.
Which mine was dead from the first stage because I didn't bump into the guy outside of the prison.
Mine's still alive, but I'm sure something will happen at some point.
Portable Ops is not a game that likes single segment speedruns. Last week I spent about 7.5 hours attempting to get a solid single segment run, and it just wasn't happening for me. So
The interesting thing there we see Python do is because this game is kind of based on the MGS3 engine, more or less. The way the enemy AI works is when they've been confronted with a danger of some kind and they have to go make a backup call, they kind of, during that call, they stop caring what's going on around them, and that includes Snake's footsteps and what have you. So he shot the shield so the guard would run over to the truck because he was concerned, like obviously being shot at, and then you can just slip down the bridge without an alert, which is really handy because the shield guards are a nightmare.
So here, since I've already lost Tsuchinoko, so I'm just gonna eat another alert and hope to not take too much damage.
So do you guys find aiming in this game a little bit awkward?
It can be.
Yeah, I mean, you get used to it, but it's, I mean, yeah, it's awkward.
So
Yeah,
this
it's
is a pretty important detour, right? We're getting the cardboard box on the ship.
Yes, very, very important. Much like MGS3, again, similar if not the same engine, the cardboard box going up ramps and stairs is faster than just normally running or rolling up them.
For some reason, Snake disregards terrain when he's in a cardboard box.
Yeah.
No.
He's inspired. That's really what it comes down to.
He
To go
appears to
real
have sort
fast.
of a supernatural ability to always be on level terrain in a box, regardless of incline. Makes no sense, but I guess that's why he's Big Boss, you know.
He's Big Boss and you aren't, so deal with it.
That's why they call him Big Boss, because he can disregard incline in a cardboard box.
Big
yeah, that-
box. There you go.
Big box. But that just by grabbing that cardboard box, it will actually allow us to do a couple of strats later on, like much later on in the run. I had a huge brain fart just then. Don't mind me, I'm fine.
So, throughout the whole run, are you going to be pretty much purely using Snake beyond a few missions?
Yeah, beyond a handful of missions, yeah.
Yeah, and I've said it before, but a big part of this run is menuing and remembering what step you need to take next, and that's what I just completely flubbed. I had some issues.
Tsushinoko is still alive. Got
Oh.
past security base with that super risky strat of equipping the box before picking up the document in the end. Oof.
That means you're just ahead of me.
Yeah, but now it's Warhead storage coming up, and the last time I ruined my run because I was too fast. So I should watch out. And after that, the first boss fight, which I might also have trouble with. We'll see.
Like Marlon just demonstrated, the enemy tend to get really confused by cardboard boxes. And
Yeah, they need like
it takes
twice
them a
as
lot
long
longer
to
to kind
spot
of
you.
realize that a box shouldn't be running around. Boxes do not have legs. So you can kind of use that to your advantage too. It will be used a few more times later on,
Definitely.
but yeah, that's another kind of bleed in from MGS3.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
We're actually coming up on the first boss fight of this game. And oddly enough, Pythonicus is going to be fighting Python.
Mm-hmm.
Very
What
fitting.
do you root for?
There's going to be so many. Just tell that joke over and over again until it dies, but it will never die.
Oh boy. Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. This is gonna be interesting.
So, for the
Oof, not much. Oh, talk about Python, oof strats or not.
Yes.
I mean, I won't do it if I still am on Tsushinoko pace.
Okay, that's fair.
But...
That's fair.
Okay.
And you can see the two guys were rolling and crawling underneath those, beside those like weird pillar things, but those are actually alarm sensors, so that's the reason for that, not just so the soldier wouldn't hear. And when you enter that room that Python has just entered, there is another set of them again. So.
Yeah, the game intends you to go pick up thermo goggles to see where they're at, but these fellas already know where to move.
Yeah. And also, it's worth mentioning that first room is on a very, very tight cycle, and you can actually also move much too quickly and get spotted that way as well. So you have to waste just the right amount of time. And oh dear.
Oh no. Come on.
You
All
can see
right.
Marlon here, he's when you look on the floor in first person, it can cause the bullets not to hit you for some reason.
Yeah. The hitbox gets a little screwed up if you're in
a bit
first
like
person.
MGS2 when you equip a cardboard box, but the best, or more or less the best way to fight Python, the boss, is 2 headshots and 2 body shots with a Mosin Nagant.
Yeah.
Wait a sec.
I did miss the super fast spread, which is like quick scoping him in the beginning, or no scoping rather. But I recovered.
I have run into a problem. I took off my TNT and now it's nowhere to be found.
Oh no.
Okay.
So you already checked on supply depot?
No, actually. No, I actually made it all the way through warhead storage. And I remembered that I took off my TNT too late, so
What?
this
Oh
is
no.
interesting.
Well, RIP Tsushinoko rank run.
This is
On
interesting.
the weird spot. I lost it.
I know there's TNT in certain stages, but not sure where.
It's all fine.
Oh, you
Oh.
have backup?
Oh no, not this guy, he fell down. Oh my god. The politician, he just... Yeah.
Yeah, the goal of this airport mission is you need to go to the air traffic control tower and interrogate the politician, the who's wearing the suit.
And something interesting that Python just demonstrated, which I'm sure he wished he didn't have to demonstrate, was when you pick up an item in a level, you don't actually have to like finish the level for that item to be yours. You can just grab and leave the mission immediately. So if such an error occurs where you run out of TNT or whatever, it's quite handy to just pop in, grab, and leave.
The game is pretty flexible in that way. It's just like, oh, you want to leave? You got your stuff? All right, go ahead.
And as Python demonstrates it a second time, it is worth noting that roll around the corner into a prone is not as easy as it might look because you are fighting with fairly bad control and a frame rate to match as well. So it can be definitely a tricky thing to pull off. But
So thankfully, I was able to get the no alert strat through warhead storage twice in a row, even though I only should have needed to do it once. But that's neither here nor there. So I am now several missions behind due to a simple error on my part. But that's the way Peace Walker Portable Apps goes. The missions are so very, very fast.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna see here from Marlon.
I need some precise shots on now, but I'm a bit too hectic with them.
So
This is my
basically,
chance.
You keep shooting.
Because
at the ground in front of
iframes
him.
are just going on for too long.
Is kind of the quickest way to do it. Is just shoot at him with an RPG in or around in front of him, and he'll just get blown up. So it's pretty easy. But obviously, like Marlon just pointed out, you kind of have to be careful about his iframes and what have you. I think Python tends to reload his RPG manually, and that's his little cue for like when the iframes are diminished.
Yeah, I did that as well, but I don't know. It's preference.
Boss fights are a bit weird though.
Get ready for possible oof.
Possible oof. Nice.
Possible oof. Oof strats, best strats.
Here we go.
So despite the end of
No
Python,
oof, no oof. So you gotta
Nope.
watch Python.
I'm I might oof.
no,
Not
on this
intentionally.
level, like you can see, Marlon is running these ramps without the box. That is very intentional because you kind of use the slowness of your walk here.
Yeah,
to, time the
I
enemy
think I
movements.
rolled there, which I shouldn't have. That's why I got spotted.
But you'll also notice that he just kind of rolled off and grabbed that pipe. On the PAL version, you don't have to catch things manually, it just does automatically for you.
Yep.
I assume that's probably because the frame rate is quite low. the input might not register in time or whatever. But it's used again later on, and it's really helpful. Just one of those other reasons that PAL is the best version for him. Which you won't hear often about many speedruns.
I am quite low on health, which is a little scary, but if I can make it another couple of missions, I'll be fine.
Because it is worth pointing out as well that your health doesn't regen mission to mission. It, I think it only kind of regenerates when you use a weight in the briefing menu.
Yeah.
Or use the bed items.
Yeah. But you kind of want to spare your med items for Jean because, oh god. Jean.
I have words about Jean, but we'll
Not to be mistaken, of course, with Billie Jean.
Well, Gene, in his own regard, is not my lover either. So.
And it's like you seen Marlon rolled into the officer there. That is because, as was mentioned earlier, when you're wearing a uniform, you can usually pass as an enemy soldier. But for some reason, other characters who are like officers and scientists will see through a disguise that isn't theirs. I don't know how that works. It doesn't make any sense. But
yeah, you need their disguise, otherwise you get spotted.
Yeah, and I think as well, even like Jonathan is dressed as an enemy soldier, just a regular Soviet soldier. But if he gets too close to another Soviet soldier, they'll figure him out. But any like the Fox soldiers, the scientists, and the officers will figure you out immediately, regardless of your outfit, unless you're wearing an outfit like theirs. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. You'd imagine that the people to figure it out first would be the ones dressed just like you, but there you go. I guess there is a case for the officers, they should know who their men are, but the scientists. And yeah, like the frame rate is quite low at 20 frames per second, but it's not that bad. It could be. It's not as bad as you.
Fairly stable at 20.
Yeah.
It
doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah. I mean, it sometimes hurts my eyes. I will say that much, but like I said,
I guess a consistent 20 frames per second is better than a up and down. So a Python might be destroyed by the perfect soldier.
Yeah, it's no one is my bane at the moment.
It's just it's kind of unfortunate way the game is set up that for health, like when you kind of want to make sure that you're managing your health really well where you can. But obviously the Python boss fight can take you into very low health, and on that mission just before you can definitely oh dear. You can get kind of shot up if you're not careful, which usually leads to a scary null fight.
I won't be able to do the fast Russia strats because I wasted some RPG rounds on null, so yeah, it'll take a bit longer.
So yeah, Marlon's approaching Metal Gear Russia, and I guess really the first Metal Gear ever according to this game. Looks like a bird or a bug flying around.
Man, it's giving me real bad RNG anyway.
So despite my mistake, my really big mistake that actually cost me about 10 minutes, things could be worse for me.
Yeah, like you're pretty close to Marlon as it stands, which is pretty good.
Should be all.
No oofs. No oofs at all today.
Wow. Shame for the viewers, though.
Yeah, it really is. It's a joy to just hit the ground and hear oof.
So basically, at the very start of the Rasha fight, the main objective is to destroy her leg.
The fight is not going too well for me.
And then she'll go into phase 2, which is basically she exposes her missile, whatever you call it.
It's like the
And
wings.
just, yeah, those are
Missile.
basically the weakest point. So the legs, and then once those are...
What? No. I just died because her rockets blew up one of those containers, and somehow they have something exploding inside, and the range is huge.
So as you can even see, before Marlon had unfortunately passed away, the damage that an RPG does to those the missile dock or whatever the hell it is huge. So usually I think you can finish the fight in one cycle in phase 2 if you're fast.
Yeah, but that on single segment, oof, needs a lot of precision.
And again, you're kind of battling with the controls a little bit because you have to do the fast reload on the RPG, which can be a little finicky with the... Because I think you want to make sure that you're letting go of L1, but otherwise Snake will go into like a manual reload. But when you let go of L1, it doesn't always drop the weapon immediately because of the frame rate. So it can be... It's kind of just getting the feeling for it as well. But one cycle is exceptional, but a 2 or 3 cycle is kind of what you'd be hoping for in a single segment. Anything more than that, you're probably not having a good time. But those missiles of hers are just ridiculous.
So, something I don't think we covered is that despite the fact that my health with Snake is like really, really low after Null there, once I rescue him here, he's going to be back to doing just fine.
Even though he got tortured.
Even though he got tortured.
And I think when I was trying to learn this fight, the best way I found of dodging her missiles in phase 2 is just kind of get really close to her, because I guess she doesn't want her missiles won't follow you, because those missiles will follow you to the end of the earth. They're ridiculous. And like Marlon pointed out, the range on them is just unbelievable.
And they curve pretty strongly. Like,
I don't think there's a missile that can fly.
like it do like a 180 hairpin. Like what?
Just a fine Snake. It's just like it's got a lock on Snake.
Those missiles are more advanced than Rex's or Ray's.
So I just put my spies on Ravine to progress with the story, but what do they find? Another Mark 22. So yeah, gotta go into a mission, back out, and wait some more.
And this just kind of demonstrates again how the spies can be less than useful.
Are they even on the right spot?
So Python at the minute is just about a mission or so. Marlon, and if he has a really good Rasha fight, he can really close that gap. But then, and this kind of leads back to the RNG, because of the spies are not cooperating very well with Marlon. It's giving Python time to close in that gap.
So since I had 3 RPGs, I could pump a little bit more damage into the legs before I needed to go grab more.
Oh, no way. Never mind, that spy thing was all just my mistake, because they already found it. I didn't expect them to already be done with it before I'm even, like, wanting them to do it. It's RNG.
Good RNG, but unexpectedly good.
Yeah,
RNG.
too good. Especially good.
It's just too good to be true.
Gotta love those invincibility frames as Snake gets up and the missiles just all go. Pythonicus over there.
So, time for rock skip, let's say.
And this is just another benefit of the foul version.
Yes.
I was so proud that I got this casually.
And that totally didn't look like it would work.
So actually, Pythonicus had a really good cycle there with the phase 2. He almost got it in one. But...
Yeah, it's just a little bit too off on both sides.
So that was a really good ration fight, which was pretty much what he needed to kind of pull back here a little bit. Now, assuming his spies behave themselves, he can definitely close this gap. That was a really nice rock roll from Marlon, not to be confused with a Rick roll, of course. They are similar. They're both as trolly, to be fair. But one is far less musical. Unless you find Snake's screams of terror musical.
Yes, I do, actually. You have to start
kinda
finding
wanna-
them amusing if you practice these games.
I guess for that role, you don't want to take that angle as wide as you might expect. You really kind of want to sharply roll towards that rock. It makes no sense how it works. Like, well, it counts.
It does make sense, however, it doesn't. Let me explain.
Yeah.
When you roll against it, the game it thinks that you like fall off that platform which the rock is on.
Yeah, so Snake shouldn't grab it, but he does because it's just another example of why Snake is Big Boss. He can command terrain in a cardboard box. He can grab ledges he shouldn't be able to. You know, he didn't just get that name out of a lucky dip or anything. You know, he earned it.
Oh, my menuing is terrible today. On top of a lot of other things that are terrible today, but
And obviously, while Marlon's in this like corridored area, this is where you really start to fight the controls, because moving through corridors is a bit of a nuisance. I guess they didn't really design the game with a lot of indoor missions in mind, so the indoor missions they do have are a bit rubbish.
Bad RNG. They still didn't develop the time bomb.
yeah, after we find where the power substation is, that's when we move our guys to technical unit to start work on a time bomb. And that's so we can blow up the power substation and get through the silo entrance.
Damn, really? Oh,
So Python was unfortunate with his role. He kind of demonstrated more or less how that should look in a real life situation.
work has begun on a detonation timer, aka it's already developed.
There we go.
He's going to kind of take an angled roll off the over the ledge here. Just accept that Snake's leg is going to break. Again, he's demonstrating why he's boss, and he's ignoring the fact that he's just broken his leg.
And now we get to the same spot on power substation again to actually plant a bomb. However, for some reason there are other doors opened now, so we can take a faster route.
Very, very helpful.
And we'll meet an old friend at the end of this when he plants the time bomb. Once Marlon climbs up the ladder here, he's going to grab the attention of the female soldier. For some reason, she'll start walking around the building, and then you can just use that to get around her.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I wonder if she's actually planning to go up there to check if I'm still there. Like going all the way to the ladder.
Yeah. This was obviously before the advent of binoculars, so they have to do everything by hand.
Funny you should
Snake
say that,
again.
because there's binoculars in the game that are useless.
Snake is like demonstrating his superhuman abilities by rolling a couple of inches away from someone, and the force of that roll still knocking him over. It's just, again,
Snake's thick thighs have so much power.
Yeah. He's again demonstrating why he is Big Boss. Strafe is less than happy, of course, that you guys are rolling into women.
My tech unit is also being quite lazy.
So Marlon gets to fight null again. What a lucky boy he is.
Man, why am I having trouble with null?
Null's
It's like
hard.
Easiest boss? I don't know.
I wouldn't go that far, but
Just you don't need to. Oh no, I'm out of ammo. Restart.
Yeah, and the thing is, if you run out of ammo here, the only other way to deal with it is either restart the mission or you can grab a machine gun nearby, but the only time you can hit null with any other kind of weapon is when he's reloading his gun. Otherwise, he'll just deflect all your bullets, which is slower than a restart, of course.
Also, the RPG explosion range is still ridiculous.
ugh.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. But again, that's probably something to do with Snake's thighs. The force that they emit just catches splash damage from meters away.
Have you seen his thighs in this game, though?
Dude,
Yes.
it's unbelievable. And Peace Walker is the same. His thigh game is on point. Like, he doesn't skip leg day, that's a guarantee.
Absolutely not. All right. I have finally set the time bomb.
Wrestler or something.
Leave lady in peace. No, she's in a way.
Yeah, it's just a friendly game of roll in your general area and knock you over.
Knock into them and then roll.
I'm pretty sure she tripped though, because like, if you look at Snake, he didn't touch her. I mean, you know, she clearly just tripped over herself.
He's very clumsy.
Okay.
What the?
And in contrast, the first time that we go through the silo entrance here, we will use the box this time to get up those ramps, because it favors us in terms of cycles. And we'll do some like precise rolls here at the top of this ramp. That guy fell about
Is that intentional?
50.
No, I've never seen that before. That has never happened before.
All right,
There we go.
put it on the board.
It's true.
So as you can see,
Okay.
Python accidentally knocked over a fox soldier. He fell about half a meter, and he must be made of glass because he died.
I did.
And the officer he rolled into, if necessary, and you're kind of short on RPG ammo, you can knock him out and collect some more, which is useful as a backup. Because RPG ammo is useful for a later boss fight. I think it's the second to last boss fight.
Hey, actually, I won't need the RPG because Tsuchinoko's dead anyway, so
Yeah.
we get to show off our new strat also. I mean, it's the same strat, just one minor improvement with major effect.
Oh my god. This is not a difficult roll. Oh,
yeah,
oh dear.
it is a difficult roll.
This is fine.
I'm sure this will work out.
Are a bit unwieldy. And there are some kind of very precise rolls into onto that box and what have you.
Let's use the codec.
That grab on that fox soldier from Marlon was very particularly timed as well, because
Yeah,
you don't want the other soldier patrolling to spot you.
I was one digit off of getting the perfect codec screen there.
And Marlon again will demonstrate how cardboard boxes are too OP.
Oh my god! What are you doing?
By running within inches of a soldier in a box and him not noticing somehow. What the?
Who launches an RPG in an alleyway like that? Like, come on.
He's obviously he's having Snake kill whether it takes him down or not.
Why?
I think we kind of skimmed over it earlier, but the little strat that Marlon just did there is called the 180 bump grab. which is fairly tricky to pull off. But you bump into a guard, you'll go through him, you'll quickly turn Snake 180 degrees, and then you'll grab him and carry him over to open that door. So he's going to use a chaff grenade so he doesn't get shot by the gun turrets that I'm fairly sure didn't exist in the 70s, but anyway.
And chaff lasts a really long time in this game.
I don't trust it this time. I just threw another one for safety.
Again, similar to MGS3, there's a couple of doors that only soldiers can open. I think is a correct Marlon on the North American version of Portable Ops, you can't get them to open the door, you have to go pick up a key card off one of them.
Yes.
Again, it's just another reason why Call is better.
I just picked up all the medikits that I could, just to be sure for Gene.
Yeah, so if you pop into this room, you can grab a couple of medkits, and it's a nice time. And if you've got some stuff in your inventory that you want to keep, when you get to the door, the key will be out of your inventory, so you can, if you feel like it, lose a couple of seconds to open the door before you grab the medkit. If you've got no inventory space.
I hope I'm doing this right.
We're actually almost finished the run as well. Funnily enough.
Yeah, this is beyond the point where I've watched, so I'm gonna cover my ears and pretend this isn't happening.
We're coming up to the second to last boss fight.
Pay attention, the new strat.
Mara's gonna debut his new strat. I think it says like a minute, you said? This is pretty much new to everybody but Marlon and Python.
Come on. Now. Pay attention to his life bar, it's beautiful. Oh shit. I should pay attention to mine as well. Just to be sure. Oh. Can we? No, no! Oh, if I needed like 1 or 2 more bullets, then I would have gotten it in 2 cycles. I would have actually skipped the second phase. Damn, those new strats.
Pretty strong.
Which are... The new strat is just ducking, so
Sit
it's
in
steady
place
spraying.
and trust the auto aim.
So
Yeah.
I'm doing a backup that wastes a little bit of time, but I'd rather waste a little bit of time over losing a run. I just put my guys in the medical unit and then waited, and that'll recover slightly more health than just waiting on its own.
Oh.
Slightly, not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot, but it is slight.
Because obviously we don't pick up
backup
a lot of
strats,
soldiers
yeah.
further on.
Well, time for Gene.
Good luck.
It will be alright. Hopefully.
Out of the two of us, I think you're probably gonna have the better Gene fight anyway. So.
So Gene can be like a, I don't know, what's the best way to describe Gene?
A jerk, a big fat jerk,
Yeah.
a meanie head,
So
RNG mess.
So this like weird mind control thing that Gene performed on Snake, it doesn't damage your health, but it will damage your stamina. And for some reason, when Snake loses all his stamina, he dies. That doesn't make any sense, but that's how it works. So you kind of have to control your health and your stamina during the fight. And the kind of best way to get Gene to charge at you is just attack him when he reaches into a pocket for a throwing knife.
Oh.
And that'll cancel off the animation and do a small bit of damage as well. What you want him is to kind of glow yellow and charge at you, and then take some headshots with the Mows on the guard.
Not good.
I got 2 cycle coming in. Nice.
It used to be a problem with PPSSPP that if you charge at certain terminals, the game would just outright crash. But that seems rectified in the latest version. SPP, whatever it's called. The emulator. Which is good, obviously.
Wow. Gene is being pretty rude.
Gene is always pretty rude.
Yeah, that's just how he is.
Oh, one more shot needed. Let's see. Oh, come on, Gene. Do it. No, 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 no! Oh my god, he did the one attack that's like almost impossible to avoid. So here we go again. Maybe we'll see a good fight this time.
So, I guess now they're kind of more on even turf here because they're both kind of starting to fight.
Oh no.
So this is definitely getting a bit closer. I can hear the stress.
Yeah, this just became neck and
This
neck.
became our race on MGS2 pretty much.
Yes, yes it has.
It's all in Gene's hands, and that's not a place you want to be.
Yeah, you don't want to rely on genetics in those games. It's a bad idea.
Especially not these genes, my lord. If your genes glow yellow,
You mustn't.
control of you, it's not something you want.
You're about to say the line.
Yes. I can't remember it
You
entirely though,
mustn't
so I'm
allow
just gonna.
yourself to be chained to fate, to be
Yes.
ruled by the gene. Speedrunners can choose whether they want to run portable ops or not.
Come on, G. Oh
Ah,
no.
So I have a question. Well, why not? Would AK-47 or RPG be helpful here or no?
Not faster than this. The weapons that we have.
I think the fastest lethal method would be an SVD, but getting an SVD is just...
Come on. Final shot. Let's not miss it. Alright, there we go.
Alright, GG.
GG indeed. Oh.
It just kind of just shows you how Gene can turn the whole thing around. I think it's safe to say, you know, it kind of came a close race because Marlon had a debt on Gene, and then Python unfortunately had a debt on Gene, which trying to steal the whole thing, but yeah, that's just Gene. At least nobody crashed. That's better than anything.
That would be disastrous.
But that'd be too much.
Well
It'd
played,
be hard to ever pick the
Marlon.
game up again if you crash your
Yes.
So when's time, Marlon?
Once we see our final rank.
Nice. Python trying to get that headshot, but a little bit hard when he's like ducking his head down like that.
Yeah, if you're behind him, it becomes a lot harder to do that. Oh, that's not good.
You know, for
Oh.
as slow as this game is, the knife throwing animation looks pretty good.
That was entirely my fault. What just happened there?
Oh,
Yeah, that's what he did to me as well.
That was entirely avoidable had I just recognized what was happening faster.
In a nutshell, though. That's just
Oh.
Gene.
I'm finished warming up now.
Dang it, Gene.
It doesn't help that I keep getting shanked.
yeah, this
Alright,
guy
buddy.
likes knives more than Vamp, honestly.
Yeah, this is a Vamp V version 1.
Now, a really scary thing is that he can decide to charge me when he's literally right next to me, and that is almost an instant. He'll almost charge instantly,
Yeah.
and it's a pain, and it's really impossible to avoid.
But the worst thing that can happen is once you take advantage of him being exhausted from the charge, you land a headshot with the Mosin, and then he stands up and does his knife salve right next to you. And it just drains over, I don't know, 80% of your health that you can't avoid.
All right, one more shot.
Finish your mission.
All right, cool.
GG.
Thank you. Even with that terrible, terrible mistake in what was it? Warhead storage.
I mean, my biggest mistakes were, the null boss fights were suboptimal. Rockstar I had bad RNG and I died on, and Gene, and some menuing stuff. In the overall routes, like the missions, go there, do that, were right for me.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play for the last couple of days, so some of that kind of got lost in the day to day, unfortunately for me. But I got there eventually. So, it is well worth noting that if anyone is interested in picking this game up, there is a fantastic set of notes that I used for my 12-hour challenge, written by my competitor and Mini Omega King. So please, if you are interested in checking out the speedrun for this game, definitely give those a read. This game is a fantastic speed game. And
Yes.
well, it's a fantastic game in general.
Do we have any idea how long that post-credits scene takes?
About a minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Oh boy.
What, world record pace?
It might still be. It's very close. I mean, it's not that special, but it can be world record.
But well, this game this game is very difficult to speedrun in a single segment and not make mistakes in. So the fact that we both finished in about an hour's time is pretty good. Of course, my timer's a little late because I forgot things.
Forgot how to use a timer.
Yeah.
Try to remember the basics of speedrunning.
So, once I get I will get the real time, but that's not really what we're looking after since we time in-game time. So if it's gonna end up being a 53, unless it's a 53.59, I should have the world record.
Dang, son. And here I was grinding
real
for the.
close.
You might have it actually.
I am. Oh, is it already time? And time. I've got a 52.
Yeah, God, unbelievable. God gamer right here. doesn't even run single segment and just for a race plows through world record.
Yeah, that was my third run, I think. I mean, next to the hundreds of hours of testing everything out and doing multi-second stuff.
Very nice, Marlon.
I would say this result seems good.
Seems good.
Oh, okay.
Seems good enough to beat a Japanese runner that I cannot read the name of.
It's known as SSR.
SSR. Well played by Pythonicus and Marlon, but
Yeah.
especially Marlon for the World Recce. That's pretty good.
Once Python gets to his result, I'm gonna check my save file to find out the final time of the seconds. Although I might just do it now, since we've seen the results, and I'm unsure of one certain thing.
Right. Result seems good.
This might actually be a PB for me as well.
I was gonna say you probably have if you get lucky.
There we go. Final in-game time for me is 52.53.
52:53. Sheesh. Let's see. Yeah, it might actually be a PB. We have 2 minutes to figure it out.
Well, while we wait around, let's talk a little bit about how this came to be. Marlon, you discovered a time save. Was it today? Just today.
3-ish hours earlier before the race. On
Yeah.
Cunningham. So normally, since we've already been spotted before, we go with lethal strats. So we pick the M63 and auto aim and just fire away. However, Snake's auto aim does what RNG tells it to do. So yeah, it always took a while, like 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute 40 the last time I tried it. So I just thought, what if crouching while firing steadies to your aim, like in so many other Metal Gear games? Yeah, apparently that works, and now it's only taking like 30 seconds to fight Cunningham.
You know, that's probably, if I get a PB, that's probably what did it, because the rest of it wasn't that great.
And let that be a message to everyone else that the best way to beat someone else in a speed game, figure out something they didn't.
Intriguing.
It's
I mean,
like I said at the beginning of the beginning of the race. There's a lot of unexplored territory here, I think, because it's just currently there's like 3 or 4 active people.
So that we can become the patriots.
56 AIGT, which yes is a PB.
Well done.
Nice.
I'm glad it asked me to save twice.
Otherwise, it would have just been a 56.59 on the board.
Yeah. So let's see here.
It was definitely a successful race, a PB and a world record.
I mean, yeah, 56:18.
And I have a run I can actually submit.
It was
Yeah.
a really close race as well, right up till the very end. Just
All right.
Gene.
Freaking Gene.
Okay.
All right.